Hi everyone. Okay, so today we are doing a love reading about their current feelings for you. Now, this is a specific person you have in your mind. You could be in a relationship with them, in a no contact situation, in a limited contact situation, or you simply like them and you want to know what they feel for you. This is a general reading, which means it may or may not apply to everyone. So please take it only if it resonates with your story. Now, another thing is that energies are always flexible. So, whatever story will come out today, these can be your energies or your partner's energies. So, please check accordingly. And this goes for cross watchers also who are here to see for their Capricorn partners. This reading can be applied to your sun, moon, or rising sign. Now, let me quickly explain you the whole pattern of this reading. We will take cards out for your recent past, present, and upcoming future, and then the overall guidance for you from universe. Okay? All right. So, let's start with the love reading for the sign of Capricorn for the month of October. And first we'll take out 3 cards here for the recent past and we'll see what energies are guiding us here, right? Okay. Alright, so we have 4 of water over here. We have Knight of Fire over here. We have the Empress over here. Okay. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, this is 4 of water over here. Okay. Now, this 4 of water seems to be, your energy to me over here. Okay. I'm feeling that, you're kind of disappointed over here. Okay. And mostly you're disappointed in this connection, or you're disappointed how this connection is going on or where this connection is going on. You kind of are not really happy about, things which are happening in this relationship currently. Okay. I'm not getting the energy for most of you that, you don't love this person or you don't want to be with them. But it's almost like, as if it's just that you're disappointed. Maybe because it's a general reading, your partner did something to disappoint you, or certain things happened, because of other people, family, or, career wise, that, this connection is going through a very disappointing phase, basically. You wanted this connection to go in a certain way and it is not going, okay, and you're kind of feeling sad about it. Right, Capricorn? You're just sad about it. Like, you had very high expectations, basically. You had high expectations from this connection, you had high expectations from this relationship, from your partner, from yourself, from the future that this connection could bring. Like, you feel nothing is happening. Nothing that you wanted is happening over here. Yes, for few of you, for very few of you, it can be a third party situation that your partner kind of, betrayed you, or, they chose somebody else, or they lied to you, okay? And you caught those lies, or you caught certain messages, and now, like, you're feeling sad about the whole situation. Like, you don't know whether, you would be able to forgive this person or not. You would be able to move on or not. Although for most of you, I'm not getting the third party situation. It's only for very, very few of you. For others, it's just that, I'm getting that things in this connection are not really going how you wanted them to go, Capricorn. Right? So basically, you're just sitting here and you're trying to wonder that how, you can take things and make them fine, how you can bring things back on track. Okay, I'm also not sensing that there is any kind of, breakup, like a permanent breakup that is going on. Yes, maybe some kind of temporary, separation could be on over here. I'm not sensing the permanent ending kind of energy over here. So, Capricorn, if you're going through some kind of separation over here, understand that, it's not the final end, at least not in the past over here in the energies. We'll see what is coming here, but I'm not getting the, permanent ending kind of energy over here, right? We have, sorry, Knight of Fire over here. This is your partner's energy. So I'm sensing, Capricorn, that your partner is kind of living their life, okay? And whatever is bothering this connection, whatever is bothering you, your partner is not either aware about it completely, because maybe you have not really opened up about, what all you're going through, and you're keeping your feelings to yourself, okay? Or your partner is very distracted, in their own world, in their own priorities, and they're not really able to notice, or even if you have opened up, they have not really taken those things very seriously. Okay, so probably maybe they're aware that you're going through something, but they feel okay, it's just a random mood swing, probably that happens, So they're not really understanding the gravity of the situation. They're not understanding that you're genuinely sad, you're genuinely disappointed, right? Whether they did something or somebody else did something, or just that, normally, even if it's not your partner's mistake, but the connection is just not going. Like, let's say you thought in 2 years' time, we'll be here, or in, let's say, in 5 years' time, we thought, that we'll shift to this location, we'll shift to this home. None of this is happening. We'll have kids by now, or we'll get married by now. None of the things are happening how you thought. Okay, and this is like affecting you, but somehow I don't think so that your partner is really understanding the gravity of the situation. They're kind of in their own world, doing their own thing, focusing on their own priorities, their interests, and they are not basically taking a lot of load about it. They could be aware, okay, that things are not really going fine in this connection, but they're not taking the load of it. They're not taking. Right now, they're not taking. Okay? Because, either, like I said, they have other priorities right now that they want to focus upon, okay? Or they're just very much occupied in their world, their career, their family, and okay, Right now, they feel that there are things that I need to focus upon, and I can't give my energy to 100 things at the same time. And somehow they feel, Capricorn, because they've always seen you as a person, who can handle herself or himself. So they feel that, okay, even if you're sad or even if something is bothering you, you will be able to handle yourself, right? We have the Empress over here. This is the energy of your connection. Now with the Empress energy, see, this connection is not really, like I said, it's not ending, okay? It's not at all ending. Even if there is separation going on, even if fights are happening, all of this is just a temporary phase in this connection, because Empress being the energy of your connection, Capricorn, this relationship is meant to expand. It is meant to grow. Okay, it is meant to grow. This is not the final thing. This is not the conclusion of this connection. Right? I understand that you had high expectations. I understand you wanted your partner to act in a certain way, or this connection to go in a certain way, and things are not happening. They're not happening right now. And you're feeling helpless. I understand that. You're feeling frustrated, you're feeling irritated, you're feeling sad. But, you need to understand, Capricorn, that this is just a phase. Things will expand. They will move towards the positive direction. And with, again, the Empress energy, I'm not getting here that your partner, they are intentionally, they're ignoring your pain, or they don't want to, address it, or they don't want to acknowledge it. No, I just feel, that, like I said, first of all, they're not understanding that how seriously affected you are. Secondly, probably they have things which are taking their time and energy. So, it's like it's unintentional. If you feel your partner is not able to give the attention to you right now, it's totally unintentional. The intentions are not bad, Capricorn, okay? They want to be with you, and somewhere they want to focus on this connection, but they're not able to do it right now. They're in their own world. Whether that world is good, bad, but they're in their own world, okay? And for a lot of you, because if you see a baby over here, so, a lot of you could be expecting, or a lot of you, will get good news of, being pregnant. And those who are pregnant, you will have a healthy baby, okay? So very literal meaning over here, right? And this baby will bring a lot of happiness in your relationship, in your marriage. A lot of abundance, a lot of growth, right? So Capricorn, you are going through some really, emotionally challenging time. And the most awkward or difficult part here is that your partner is not trying to make it difficult for you. They're not. They don't want to make it difficult for you. Yes, they are not that available, they are not that present. That is true. And maybe they're not able to understand you completely right now. That is also true. But none of it's intentional. Let me tell you that. None of it is intentional. Okay? And for the people who already have a child, okay, and issues are happening, this child will become a very big reason that you guys will get back together. Okay? Alright guys, so now I'll take out 3 cards here for the current energies and we'll see what is happening here. What your partner is now doing, how you are feeling, Capricorn, and where this connection is going, right? So Capricorn, I'm also getting an energy. Again, this is a very specific energy for very few people. Capricorn, you could be confused between 2 people, 2 or more people over here. Right? And you're not able to really decide. This is for someone very specific. I'm getting an energy. And you're kind of feeling irritated over here. Okay? Because somehow, you like all the options over here. You can't really put a flaw, in anybody here. That's also kind of creating some sense of frustration within you. Okay, but like I said, this is for someone very specific. Okay guys, so now we have King of Earth over here. We have 9 of Water over here. And we have King of Air over here. Okay, that is nice. So King of Earth over here. So Capricorn, you have finally decided to take the responsibility. Okay, you are no longer sitting in that sad, lonely, grieving kind of a phase, right? And you know that your partner is not understanding the situation or they're kind of occupied somewhere else. And if you just stay irritated, this is not helping anybody, right? So you're getting up here, you're trying to show some maturity, okay? And you are taking this step towards your partner and you're letting them know that, listen, yes, I'm kind of disappointed somewhere, but you are my priority, okay? And I want to be with you and I mean it. Because King of Earth is no joke, okay? This is not some fling or I like you kind of energy, no. This is I love you and I am here for you no matter what. It is that kind of energy. So you're getting up and you're letting your partner know that yes, I agree that things are not going fine. Things are not how I wanted them to. It doesn't matter whose mistake it is here. But I also mean it when I say that I want to be with you. And I will stand by you. And I will work hard, okay, to make this relationship stable. So you're there. You are there and you're letting your partner know. Now this is such a healthy thing to do because, if your partner, even unintentionally, they were not able to focus on you, at least now you're coming from forward and you're giving this kind of understanding vibe to them, they will look at you and they will, kind of have a conversation with you. They will also try to understand you. But if you will just be sad and, you lock yourself up in a room like this and you're just here all alone, kind of in your mind, right? In your mind, not really talking. This won't help. And you understood that here. You're getting up here. And Capricorn, you are very practical. Capricorns are very practical, That is a gift which is given to you. You are emotional, okay? Which so many people do not believe that Capricorns are emotional, but let me tell you, they are emotional. Okay, but at the same time, they use their brains also very wisely. They don't most of the time let emotions, drive them crazy. And that's exactly what you're doing. When you understood that your emotions are now becoming a blockage, you kept them aside, you got up, and you walked towards your partner and you had that conversation with them. Right? Now we have Nine of Water over here. Now this Nine of Water is your relationships energy, okay? Now Nine of Water is all about emotions, okay? So there's a lot of, you can say, emotional fulfillment which is happening right now. Because the moment you got up and you took that step, your partner genuinely appreciated this. Because see, you kind of, took yourself and you sat in the corner, even if your partner was not aware that what exactly is bothering you, but they did say, right, that you're not with them. You're kind of ignoring them, or you're kind of ghosting them, or you're like kind of neglecting them. And especially if they're going through something, if whatever is kind of keeping them busy is something serious, they could be thinking that right now when I need Capricorn, where is this person? So the moment you took this step here, Capricorn, this person is kind of, and your relationship is kind of going through that emotionally satisfying phase over here. This is exactly what was needed here, Capricorn. This is exactly, because this is the point where if you wouldn't have done this, your relationship would have only gone bad. The confusion, the assumptions, the overthinking would have started in your parent and your partner's mind too. Right? And firstly, you were the one who was secluding earlier, probably. They would have also done, and it would have gone just out of control. But now things are coming in balance over here and emotionally satisfying. Which was needed for you also, because this is where you were feeling like emotionally, unstable. Right? And King of Air over here, this is your partner's energy. And the moment you opened up, Capricorn, the moment you let them know, your partner is also opening up. Now, air is a very brutally honest energy. Like, you are just blunt on the face. But whatever you say the truth. Okay, so maybe your partner will open up. Maybe whatever they will say, everything will not, sound very polite to you or very nice to you for some of you, okay? They will tell you that I felt ignored, I felt neglected, I felt, that when I needed my partner, where my partner is, and you kind of just walked away, you kind of just, took your own zone. So they can tell you things on your face, but the good thing is that they will not keep anything inside. See, your partner being blunt on the face, yes, sometimes it can sound rude. Okay, but if they're not really speaking up, they're keeping things inside, now that is dangerous. Because they're suppressing their emotions. And one day those emotions, they will come up in a very, very, violent way. Right? That can really damage you, them, this connection. So at least they're opening up, right? And with the earth energy, I'm getting the energy over here that you would be very humble. Okay, you would be kind of, you'll accept. Both of you are on the same energy, King. Both of you want to take that kind of efforts for this connection. Both of you want to stand by each other. No matter whatever is going on. This is the core. Both of you want to stand by each other, okay? Because King is all the masculine energies. Now it doesn't matter what your gender is. Every soul has both masculine and feminine energies, and both of you are tapping into the masculine part, and masculine energy is all about action, taking a stand, speaking up, being proactive. Both of you are doing that. And that is why this balance is achieved, and that is why, we have this 9 of water. Because if you read the keywords, wishes, dreams, happiness, right? Suddenly, the moment you shifted your energy, the moment you took a practical decision over here, mature decision, you see, 4 of water, you were all sad, sitting sad, and your energies have only changed. Are you getting me? So Capricorn, this is, this is a very positive shift and a very conscious shift, which you did, right? You took the right decision over here of getting up and of talking to your partner. Even if they seemed unapproachable to you, you took that risk. You went ahead. And you knew that maybe some of the things they would say may not be very polite to you, and yet you stood up, right? And that is why, see, the balance came into your connection over here. All right, Capricorn, so now I will take out 3 cards here for the immediate future, okay? And guys, one thing, please understand that when I say immediate future, know that, energies are flexible. They just flow, okay? Now, you can't trap energies under a rigid timeline, okay? It's only for our own understanding that we try to divide the energies into monthly readings, or some people, they do weekly readings, But, you can't really trap them, okay? And that is why whatever will come here, for most of you, it will happen within October, but for others, it can stretch out to other months also, right? So remember that, okay? Now 3 cards for Capricorn for the immediate future, and we'll see, Capricorn, that how you would be feeling and how your partner would be feeling and where this connection would be going, right? Okay, all right. We have the Queen of Earth over here. We have 8 of Earth over here, and we have 5 of Water over here. Okay, all right. We have the Queen of Earth over here. Now, this Queen of Earth is basically, this is again, your partner's energy over here. Now, they are definitely kind of trying to reciprocate you back, okay? They are kind of trying to reciprocate you back because you came with the King of Earth energy. Now, your partner is tapping into the Queen of Earth energy, and they are also trying to offer you the same commitment, the same stability, They're also giving you, they're basically completing you. King and Queen, masculine and feminine, right? Yin and Yang, both of you are coming together and completing each other. They're trying to match your energy. They're trying to match your dedication. They're trying to match your expectations over here. Right? So whatever has been going on in their life, or whatever has been going on in your life, or whatever has been bothering this connection, right? Your partner, they're dealing with that also, but at the same time, they're trying to make sure that, they are offering their best to you. They're offering this relationship their best, Capricorn. That's what your partner is trying to do over here. And they're trying to do it in a very nurturing way, because feminine energy is all about nurturing. You nurture the warmth, the love, the understanding, the compassion, the empathy. They're not rushing anything. They're being very understanding over here. So this change will come. Okay? They will do that. And see, they have not really completely stepped away. Yes, there are things, there have been some kind of issues. That's why you have been sad here. Of course, why would you be sad if there are no issues? You're kind of depressed, you're sad. But you need to know your partner never really completely walked away, Capricorn. You took an initiative, they responded. Yes, maybe they could have been blunt or little rude for some of you, but they responded, right? And now that you are trying to match them, now that your partner is trying to match you, so they're trying to put more efforts over here. Now this is 8 of earth energy. Okay. Now this basically is the energy of your relationship. Okay. So I'm saying that because your partner is now coming into the energy of offering you, of working on this connection, okay, they're trying to be humble too, so both of you will try to work on this connection. So there will be some kind of efforts which will be put in working this connection. It will happen. It will happen, okay? It will happen from their side also, it will happen from your side also. And whatever, two people have different capacities. Whatever is their capacity, they would try to invest in this connection. Whatever is your capacity, you would try to, kind of invest. But both of you will try to work on this connection together. Right? Together. And with a very genuine heart, you will do that. Not just for the sake of it, both of you. But however, I still see, Capricorn, that you can slip into this energy or 5 of water. We almost started this reading with the similar kind of energy where you've been sad and you are disappointed, you are dissatisfied, with how things are going on, and you are kind of grieving over here, sad, right? And again, here. And why this is coming despite both of you, working on this connection, your partner is kind of, showing up. I'm sensing over here, Capricorn, that I'm sensing two things over here. First, like I said, that everybody would invest over here according to their own limitations. So maybe, how much you would be investing or how much you would want your partner to invest, they wouldn't be able to do that much. Okay, so this can again trigger insecurity within you. This can again trigger some kind of dissatisfaction within you. Right? And second, for some of you, I'm sensing that, because of these triggers, okay, you can end up fighting with them. You can end up taking some kind of very extreme decisions, which you may regret later. Right? You'll tell them, okay, I don't want to be with you, and you try to ghost them, or you try to just kind of, just take the decision, just I don't want to be with you. Just those extreme decisions you take. Right? And what will happen once you take those decisions? Now you're sad. Now you again kind of, you're regretting basically. Why did I just jump onto the things? Why did I let my triggers go out of control? Why did I let this overthinking, got onto me? My partner had been trying to do things. Whatever their limitations have been, they're trying to do in their limits. Things grow one by one, you can't just build everything overnight. Probably I had to be patient with them. Because see the keywords: disappointment, regret, forgiveness. You could be seeking their forgiveness in a way. You could be seeking their forgiveness because you could end up saying some harsh words to them, rude words to them, and you may really feel, later that probably you shouldn't have said that. These could be some hurting words, okay? So you need to be a little cautious, Capricorn, because the way you'll behave, let me tell you, this is where you'll end up. This is exactly where you'll end up. You'll feel more hurt because, you've hurt your person. You'll be more, regretful over here. Few of you could be seeking their forgiveness over here. Don't bring yourself to this energy. Your partner, whatever is happening over here, at least they're trying to show up in their capacity. Maybe they're taking time, but they're trying to show up. They're trying to be humble. They're trying to match your energy. They're also trying to, fight their insecurities or overthinking or the issues they're facing in their life. So you need to show patience over here, Capricorn, and you need to, be little more understanding towards your partner. You need to give them little space. You need to give them little benefit of doubt over here that, okay, they'll handle things. Things will happen. Right? Even if some kind of progress is happening in your relationship, that's progress, right? Even if it is 10%, maybe you want 100%, but it'll take time to reach there. You can't put a timeline on somebody else. No two people process traumas in a similar way. They don't process struggles, or they don't process, even the good things in a similar way. So you can't put a timeline on a certain thing, Capricorn. You probably sometimes can act little in a balanced way, or you have the, capacity to hold back your emotions. Maybe your partner does not have. So, you need to understand that where you guys are similar and where you guys are different, right? So this difference is very important to be known in a connection. Because your partner, they love you and they want to be with you, let me tell you that. Okay, so don't do that. Don't let your triggers and don't let your past traumas, whether it is from this connection or any other connection or your childhood traumas, whatever it is, to come forward. Your partner is trying to take, efforts here. For some people, yes, they're taking some big efforts. For others, they're taking step by step. But like I said, whatever it is, at least it's a progress, right? Alright, Capricorn, so now I will take out 3 cards here and we'll see what universe has to guide you, for this situation. Okay guys, so one more thing, that after every reading, at least one of you tells me that, ma'am, whatever you said about my partner, these are my energies, and whatever you said about me, these are my partner's energies. So guys, please understand that at the beginning of every video, I always tell you that, energies of 2 people in general readings, they are interchangeable. They can be vice versa. So, Capricorn, this can very well be your partner, okay, who's finally getting triggered and they're kind of losing it and they're kind of making those mistakes over here that they should not make and they can regret later. And this can very well be you, okay, who's trying to match up to your partner's expectations, who's trying to keep patience and trying to be humble over here. Okay guys, so please be honest, choose your path wisely. Either way, it is correct. You don't have to force yourself to fit into the characters over here to claim this reading. No, either way it is applicable, trust me, okay? Alright guys, so 3 cards here and we'll see what universe wants to tell you about the situation, Capricorn. We have Ace of Water, we have the Sun, and we have the Magician. Such beautiful cards, Capricorn. Okay, so again, there's a child over here. Child will again coming, a good energy over here, right? So again, a very specific energy that people who already have kids, this child will become a very strong reason for both of you, right? And for others, this is a new phase in your connection, okay? Your partner is trying to, give you that attention. They're trying to evolve in this connection. They're trying to work for this connection. They're trying to become humble, okay? They're bringing that warmth, okay? And they're pushing you to evolve. They're pushing you to be understanding. They're pushing you to face your fears and face your triggers and not impose your unhealed parts on others, Capricorn. Right? So your partner is coming with a very beautiful energy over here. They are challenging your inner child. They are liberating your inner child over here who is kind of stuck with all those traumas, triggers, negativity, toxicity, Capricorn. They're freeing them. They're freeing you from certain patterns. And any liberation process is not easy. Maybe whatever they're doing right now could be feeling to a lot of you as very insensitive and indifferent, and they're ignoring you, or they kind of, but like I said, that it's not something that they are doing intentional. You need to understand this, underline this, okay? They are not hurting you intentionally. Even if there's a separation going on, they are not hurting you intentionally. This is something where they're helpless. This is, like I said, they have some other issues going on, or they don't feel prepared, or whatever the reason is, but they don't want to hurt you intentionally. So they are just indirectly or directly challenging you, you also to evolve somewhere. And once you are evolved and they are evolved, so a new beginning will start over here. Ace is all about beginning. An emotional beginning over here. Sun. This is the energy of your relationship. Now, Sun is the most happiest card in the tarot. And I think this is the last reading for October. In none of the readings I have got this card, in October. None. It's only your reading, Capricorn, I have gotten this card. Right? All of the other cards, I think I have got one or the other reading. Not this card. This is your connection. This is the potential of your connection, This is what you both are capable of giving to each other and giving to this relationship. You both are meant to be happy. Now, happiness does not mean it's a uniform journey. Ups and downs will come. You both are partners, but then at the end of the day, you both are different individuals with different karma, okay, with different spiritual path, with different, lessons to learn. So, of course, clashes will happen. Separations will happen. Disappointments will happen. But then that doesn't mean, that things are getting over. It just means that, okay, there is a process which is going on, and after that, you two will align again, and everything will turn into a very stable, positive, happy energy. You need to believe in this energy. You need to believe in this energy, Capricorn. We have the Magician over here. This is your energy. Now, who is Magician? Magician is the person who has the power to manifest. The mind, okay, is very sharp. The intuition is on point. Because intuition is the language of the universe. You can talk to universe if your intuition is on point. In Capricorn, I told you in the beginning, you are blessed with that kind of capability that you can keep yourself in balance. Use that. Instead of getting, insecure, instead of getting triggered, sit calmly, meditate, and manifest this connection into your life. Manifest this person into your life. Because Magician here is confirming that you have the capability to manifest. Your manifesting powers are very high this month. Okay? If you see the keywords also, manifestation, empowerment, preparedness, prepare yourself for that. You don't have to be afraid of anything. Number one, January, Capricorns, most of the Capricorns, yes, there are December Capricorns also, but overall, if I take the number, January, starting of the month, right? This is you. So, remember your power. Okay, remember it. You don't have to go into this energy. No, you don't have to. Capricorns are, they are almost next to perfect people. Something which is closest to perfection, they're Capricorns. Because they're so dedicated and they're so, balanced, and they can really handle situations in their lives. Right? When other people are like really struggling with their emotional, that haze, their mind is clouded. right? With those emotions, Capricorn can really see clarity, even in the most, you know, in the most of the like complex dilemmas. Use that. Create your connection with the universe and manifest this relationship. Manifest the happiness. Manifest this person. Manifest what you want in this connection. Universe will grant you. That's why it came here and not in any other place in past, present, or future, but here where universe wants to guide you. Right? Okay guys, so now I will take out one card from this deck and we will see that if there is any specific guidance or any specific message that universe wants to give you about this connection. But before that, I quickly want to say one important thing that, for the people who are coming here every month, they are very well aware about the crystal jewelry that I offer. Now, for the people who are coming here for the first time, I quickly want to say that why it is very important to wear crystals, okay? See, crystals, they come from the heart of the earth. Now, earth is a very magical planet, okay? The only planet in our solar system which can support life so beautifully, all right? Now, all of these crystals, because they're coming from earth, they're being extracted from the earth, all of them contain those magic, those power within them, right? Now imagine if you can find a way to extract those energies, and align them with your energy, so you can think, how magically your life can change, right? Earth is all about abundance, growth, nature. Nature, if you see, so this abundance can be given to you also in your life. And crystals play a very important role in that, right? Like right now also I'm wearing this raw amethyst ring. I have this whole stone of rose quartz, as my bracelet, okay? See guys, I have been working with crystals since many years, okay? And I can tell you from my own experience that, they do work, okay? They have really benefited my life in every area, whether it's my personal life, financial, career, my health, right? And again, being a human, I'm also prone to anxiety, depression, or insomnia, restlessness, negativity, evil energies, black magic energies, especially, I do readings with such complex energies sometimes, right? Now, crystals, they create that protection around me, they create that defense around me, right? And most importantly, they keep my intuition on point. Like I said, that if your intuition is on point, you'll always take the right decisions. You will be able to manifest very strongly in your life, okay? Now, three most important things, you must know, before you buy crystals, either from me or from somebody else. Firstly, do a little research and make sure you are buying original crystals, okay? Because there are a lot of people who are selling fake ones out there. Even few reputed websites are doing that, because few of my clients, they've already experienced such bad experiences with them, okay? Now, second thing is that how one crystal affects one person, it may not affect another person the same way, okay? See, like I'm wearing this amethyst. Now, if this amethyst is working for me emotionally, it may not work for you, the same way. So, why? Because, see, we all have different blockages, we all have different energy systems, right? So, every crystal will affect in a different way, just like how one medicine will not cure everybody's illness. You take a medicine according to your illness, right? So that is the same logic over here. So if you guys do not know that which crystal is good for you, okay, and for what purpose, don't worry. You message me on my crystal Instagram page. I will take your details. I will meditate on your energies and I will let you know, which crystal is good for you, okay? Third thing, that always wear the crystals only after they are charged with your specific energies, okay? Why? Because see, I'm wearing these crystals and if they're not charged with my energies, so the basic tendency of the crystal is to create a connection with the energies around it, okay? Now, I come across with so many people during the day. It'll try to create a connection with everybody. So what will happen now? All of its powers are now distracted. It's scattered and I don't want that. I want all of its powers to be locked and to be focused on me. So the powers are locked by, you know, making sure that they are charged with your specific energy. So they will work only with your energies and only for your blockages. And you do it through certain intense rituals, which cannot be done by everybody, let me tell you that, okay? Because I come across a lot of people who try to sell crystals online by saying you can buy them, they are charged by me. Now you need to ask them, charged of what and charged of whose energies? If they have not taken your details, they have not meditated on your energies, they do not know what your blockages are, then no, the crystal is not charged and it is of no use to you, okay? See guys, I can ensure you one thing, like 1000% I can ensure you that crystals have the power to change your life. But you need to be responsible towards them. They are not fashionable jewelries, okay? Right? And because see, they are living entities. These crystals are listening to me right now. They can feel my energies. They are manifesting for me. They're protecting me, guiding me, supporting me. But like I said, you need to prove to them that you're deserving of wearing them. You know, because I always feel, you know, for any magical power, they choose you. You don't choose them. Crystals choose you. You don't choose crystals. Let me tell you that. Right? Okay, guys. So now one card for Capricorn. And we'll see, you know, what specific guidance universe has for Capricorn about this connection, okay? One card for Capricorn here. Okay, so I think it's a very simple, sweet message that you have is true love. And the message is, this is the romance of a lifetime. This is your person. And again, if you see there's a couple and there's a child behind. So very strong energy of a child becoming very big reason, you know. So very specific energy for those people who have children, you know, or who are you know, expecting, right? The child will become, you know, a reason for you guys, okay? And for others, you know, this is your true love. You don't have to even take any kind of stress. This is the romance of a lifetime. This is your soulmate for this lifetime. You guys are meant to be together, right? You guys are meant to be together, Capricorn. Simple, full stop. You don't have to go into this kind of energy where you're sad, or this kind of energy, you know, where you react and then you're regretting that why did I say such harsh words to them. No. Treat them with love and they'll treat you with love. You both are each other's true love. Right? The word which we so rarely listen or get to listen these days. Right? Because emotions are like kind of a complex thing and people do not somehow want to invest in them these days, right? But not for you, Capricorn. At least you're blessed here. This is true love for you. Okay, guys. So that's it for today. I hope this reading resonated with you. If it did, then please subscribe this channel and comment here. Okay? Please comment here, guys, because, you know, when you comment here, when you write, when you pour your heart out over here, first of all, you make, you know, a connection with the universe because it's all energy, right? Second, you make a connection with me because every time you write something, every time I get to know what you're going through, I try to send the healing energies to you, okay? And like I always say that I may not respond to every comment, but I read each and every comment over here. Okay, guys. Also like and share this video, and for the people who want to book their personal readings with me, you guys should contact me on Instagram. Also on Instagram, every morning prediction for the day is posted and every day one person is picked up for a free detailed reading, right? So if you guys are interested, you know, I would be putting the links both for my tarot Instagram page and my crystal Instagram page in the description box below. You can check it out. Okay. So I'll see you guys again very soon. Till then, please take care of yourself. God bless you. Bye.